This is Coogan Cassius for IFL TV here at Gallagher's gym here in Bolton. How are you, Joe?
Not too bad, Coogan. How are you?
Very good. Just caught some of your circuits.
Yeah.
Looks tough.
Yeah, it is a good conditioning day. Smiths were swimming this morning. That's the second session of the day done now. Off to the way now for Liam Smith. He's defending his title tomorrow night. Yeah, busy day.
You must be pleased that the Paul Smith, Arthur Abraham situation
chuffed
is...
a bit, so chuffed a bit. So I was having what's the word? Giddy little moments around the house over the weekend when it was first announced, and there's sometimes it's written in the stars for some people, and I'm not going to sit here and say Paul's definitely got to win it, but he's got to go in there with the best condition he can be, best game plan he can be, and what'll be he'll be. Obviously Germany's a tough place to get a win. We've seen that with Macklin and Sturm over there, but Paul, like I say, he's got to go in and leave that ring with no doubts over his fight.
Absolutely. And Scott Quigg, obviously he will be fighting on September the 13th in Manchester.
Or Vegas.
Or Vegas. Is that still up in the air?
Well, yeah, listen, Scott Quigg, there's a date there. He's training for September the 13th. The fight is wanted at Santa Cruz. Either Cruz comes to Manchester or we'll go to Vegas. That's the fight that we've always wanted. And I do feel, from what I'm hearing, Al Heyman really looks after Santa Cruz. He's like really protecting him, looking after him, and sees him as a huge star in the future. And from what I'm hearing, the sound bites and getting, he wants no part of Scott Quigg for Santa Cruz. That sounds daft, and people say, oh, Gallagher thinks this and that again, but I'm only saying what I'm hearing back, and that's the type of fight. And I know Eddie's approached them, and there's some type of disarray there at the moment between Golden Boy fighters and Al Heyman at the moment, so there's that in the works as well, but we're still hanging on a string, on a thread that possibly the Cruz fight could still come off. Really?
Be interesting if it does, but is it obviously there's talk of other opponents for Manchester, for that Manchester date if that wasn't to happen?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. There's a couple of opponents. We've agreed one or two opponents. So we'll just see what happens now, see what Eddie has to say. I think he's due to speak to Scott later on today. Hopefully we'll have an announcement over the weekend.
Let's hope so. Callum Smith, that's your wife, just answer it.
No, go on.
Callum Smith hopefully will be fighting out in LA in Carson on the Brook Porter undercard.
Yeah, that's huge. That's a great opportunity for Callum's fight over there. Everybody's talking about Callum. I've seen the feature in the Ring magazine recently. Head bosses at HBO and Showtime are hearing his name often and commenting on him, and that's just great exposure. 6 rounds over there. He's still carrying a hand injury from his last fight, and a decision will be made most probably Monday, Tuesday, whether he'll definitely go on that or not. He's got to prove to me now that he can hit full whack beginning of next week. If he can't, he won't be going. If he can, he will be going. And
Liam Smith obviously is weighing in just a little while in Manchester ahead of his fight with Jason Wellborn, defending his British title. When I spoke to Liam yesterday, Frank Warren came in on the interview and sort of hinted at bigger things for Liam Smith coming up.
Yeah, hopefully. Liam's a kid that he needs the fear factor, he needs to be motivated, and he's beyond it. That's no disrespect to Nav Mansouris and the fighters out there, but I've always blown Liam's trumpet, banged the drums a lot about Liam. I think he's a very talented fighter. He's got world-class timing, and I've seen what he can do when he's been out to America sparring with good opponents, and he's been sparring a former world title challenger, Michelle Soro, here, and that's been great sparring. So I'm quite confident of Liam's ability to be able to move on to the next level after Saturday night.
Certainly hope so. All right, well, we both have a weigh-in to go to.
Yeah, definitely.
You have a fighter, I have to film it.
Yeah,
so
no problem.
Let's crack on. Well, Joe, listen, thanks for inviting me down to the gym today.
No problem.
Watching the boys and that.
Well, cheers, thanks for coming up and popping in and seeing the lads. As you can see, the lads, there's no summer here in the gym, there's no days off, and they're making every day count at the moment. They're hard at it, and they're all in great shape.
Absolutely, yeah. In particular, Scott Quigg looks in phenomenal shape.
Crowler's just, he's ready to fight in a week or two. Crowler, I've got to put the brakes on him.
All right, Joe Gallagher, thanks for talking to IFL TV, and we'll catch up with you soon.
Brilliant. Cheers. Thanks, Coogan.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.